You thought this channel was dead? I mean, it kind of was. But I'm back. My name's Oliver Eaton and welcome to the channel. And it is that time of year again. It's time for our Premier League predictions, the table prediction. And, well, let's try and not balls it up this time. I think last time we had Chelsea winning the league and they flopped. I'm sure I'll throw Arsenal to win the league. They will flop. But as always, these are all my predictions and my own opinions. So if I put your team low down, I'm sorry. I thought you were shit. Anyway, let's get straight on right from the bottom. And I've gone for newly promoted Bournemouth. I don't know what it is about Bournemouth. You just don't have that sense that they stand much of a chance. I mean, they've got some better players from when they were last in the Premier League, and I'm sure the experience will try and propel them. But for me, I'm just not buying it from them. I think they will struggle, and that's why I put them down at the bottom. 19th, I've gone for Fulham. In 18th, I've gone for Southampton. Now, Southampton have been having a slight decline over the years. Their positions are starting to come a bit lower down, and I'm predicting them to struggle. And this is one of them riskier predictions, but I'm predicting them to go down. Now in 17th, I've gone for Brentford. I've got them to survive the drop, but I think this will be typical second season syndrome for Brentford. This is their second season. How many years have Brentford been in the league? Right, I knew I was right. Despite their wonderful season last season, I do think it'll be the classic second season syndrome. And it's a shame because there seems such a nice run club, a good community around them. I mean, the stadium's even called the Community Stadium. But I do think their luck may run out this season. In 16th place, I've actually gone for Leicester City. Now, Leicester are a strange one. They've just lost Schmeichel. Maddison could be on his way out. Jamie Vardy, it's the question of if he's past it. I do worry for Leicester. It seems a decline has started there as well. Brendan Rodgers still in the job. I think he will be sacked this season. And I do think Leicester maybe not be facing a relegation battle, but they will suddenly find themselves down there. But I think they will still survive. 15th, I've gone for Leeds United, and it was a last day survival race, wasn't it, when they beat Brentford on the final game of the season, relegating Burnley instead, or Burnley kind of relegated themselves. I think Leeds have got loads of new signings. They're a bit of an unpredictable team this season. I predicted them just in the bottom 6. We don't know. Coming in at 14th, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Wolves are another team what seemed a tad bit lost since Nuno went a couple of years ago. They started off quite poorly last season, but then brought it back to around the top half finish. This season, you get the sense that there's teams what did finish around them probably go have better seasons. I don't know, this is probably one of them potluck ones. I've put them probably slightly lower than what their fans probably expect this season. I'm sure I'll be made to look like a fool at the end. Alright, in 13th, I've put Brighton. Now Brighton, to be fair to Brighton, I think every time I've done this prediction, I predicted them to finish in the bottom 6, even relegation zone, and they always do a lot better, and I like them. Graham Potter's doing a fantastic job at Brighton, and he's had some good players, obviously losing some like Basuma, and obviously Chelsea sniffing around their squad at the moment. Will Brighton be in a relegation scrap? I don't think so. In 12th, I'm putting newly promoted Nottingham Forest. Now this, I think, is going to be one of them typical high momentum, highly unpredictableness, Steve Cooper magic, what will contribute to a decent season for Forest, and I'm sure their fans will happily take 12th, although I do think some are wanting Champions League football again. But I think Forest will have a decent season. I think it'll be followed by a 20th finish next season. In 11th, I've gone for Everton, and I think some of the fans will probably take this result right now. Frank Lampard has not many months left to prove that he actually can be a football manager. I mean, last season they were awful. They were in a relegation scrap. This is Everton. This season they got to have learned, surely. They've got to be a bit more together. Do fear for them though still. I think 11th might be suitable for the squad of their ability at the moment. In 10th, I've gone for West Ham United, and West Ham had a brilliant season, or have had a few brilliant seasons now under David Moyes, and I think he's probably done enough to prove his pedigree as a good Premier League manager once again. West Ham though, I think it's going to be a case of more teams around them being a lot better quality, like your Arsenals, Crystal Palaces, the teams probably not mentioned yet at this table, but I think West Ham will have another strong season, but a bit like last season, I think they will start strong and then wither away as results and games come thick and fast. In 9th, I've gone for Crystal Palace, and I'm predicting a good season for the Eagles. They had a very strong, and they were very strong defensively and as a squad under Vieira, and I think that will only continue. Of course, you could argue they've lost Gallagher. Have they replaced him or not? It'll be interesting to see, and especially as the game unpens against Arsenal, we'll see how strong they are against teams kind of around their level. It'll be an interesting season. I think fans would be very happy with that position, and they're very consistent, so 9th place for Crystal Palace. In 8th place, I've put Aston Villa, and I think I'm tipping them to have a very strong season. They've got some good players, and especially with Coutinho, still remaining at the club. Steven Gerrard, I'm sure, will still work magic at the team, and I do expect them to have a top 10 finish. They could even be fighting towards those UEFA Conference or even Europa League places. Manchester United, the fallen giants, I think it's going to be a very slow progress under their new manager. Things seem to be slightly trying to turn for the good, probably a new manager bounce. I'm sure if they start the season off good, we could see them finish a lot higher, but if I'm going to predict based on Man United of current, you just can't tip them any higher than 7th. Coming in at 6th, we have Newcastle United. Now, I'm going to put this as one of my lucky dip kind of guesses, and I could be very wrong at the end of the season, but it's fair to say their new era has well and truly arrived. And Newcastle, although they've not got Neymar, Messi, or not even Ronaldo yet, although I'm sure he would love to go to Newcastle away from Manchester United, Newcastle are coming into this season with the momentum, the fans are on board, and I am pushing them for a very good season. 6th place. Coming into the top 5, and I must say, it's looking very tough up there. There's a very strong teams. I've gone for Chelsea in 5th, and I think this is purely down to not signing a good striker. What is happening there? Chelsea have got a very strong squad, but when you just see compare it to the 4 teams who are still yet to announce, they just don't seem as hot favourites at the moment. Certainly for a top 4, you would expect them to be battling for it. I predicted them in 4th. I think the signing of Jesus was a very, very smart signing. I know a lot of people don't rate him, but he has shown up, certainly in pre-season, and fine, you could talk about pre-season, but he is back on good form again in pre-season. But I think, you know what, I'm saying that I reckon he will outscore Haaland this season. And you can clip that at the end of the season when I am right. Arsenal 4th. That brings us to our top 3, and I'm going with Spurs. And Spurs seem like the dark horses, the outside favourites here. They've recruited, forget well or bad, they've just recruited players. They are obviously going to back Conte, which is good to see. It's ages since they have backed any manager. Spurs are well and truly looking to try and break this big gap we're seeing between them and Man City and Liverpool, and I do favour them to do well. Could we see silverware this season in cups? Probably not, because they'll bottle it as always. 3rd place Spurs. That brings us to the top 2, and this is always a flip of the coin, isn't it? Both teams so strong. We've seen the Community Shield final. I don't think that was really reflective of the season, but I have put Manchester City in 2nd. Purely because, as a Huddersfield Town fan, I would hate to see Man City equaling our record of 3 consecutive titles in a row. And I think it's time. Liverpool have shown momentum, and we'll talk about Liverpool in a sec. But I think Man City and Liverpool will probably go to the final games of the season again. It's going to be mightily close. But I've got them in 2nd because I've predicted Liverpool to win. I was very impressed with their performance, especially Darwin coming into the team. it's going to be an interesting dynamic of whether they will miss Mane. And at the moment, it doesn't look like it. We're yet to see it. Obviously, the season starts this weekend. But I think Liverpool will win the title to the delight of every football fan in the country. And there you go. Those are my table predictions. I'm so sorry in advance. At the end of the season, we'll come, reflect and see how good and how brilliant I am at getting everything wrong. Until then, put your predictions down below. I would love to hear what your predictions are for the season. And hell, let's predict the opening game of the season. I will see you probably in those 9 months' time. But yeah, if you did desubscribe before, give us a follow again. That'd be nice. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Sorry for disappointing you. Goodbye.